Hey guys, Vazzy back here, and we have our first trade of the NHL trade deadline week, as we have a deal that has taken place between the Colorado Avalanche and the New York Rangers. So let's go jump into NHL 25 and start breaking everything down. Alright, so this is what the trade is looking like here in a game between the Avalanche and the Rangers. So starting things off here, Juuso Parssinen. They got him from Nashville earlier this year, and he is a very strange player. As when he entered the league just a few years ago, I believe it was 22-23, he looked like he was going to be amazing. But ever since that year, he just hasn't been able to replicate those results. Whether it be in Nashville, Colorado, hopefully with the Rangers he can turn it around. Also going back, Calvin DeHaan, you know, he's a very decent bottom pairing defenseman. You're not going to get anything too crazy out of Calvin DeHaan, as well as a second round pick and a fourth round pick. Colorado has two of each, and it is whatever the better of the value pick is will be going to New York. That in exchange for Ryan Lindgren. He is a guy that is very controversial, especially around Rangers fans. Personally, I love Ryan Lindgren. He is that typical stay-at-home shutdown defenseman. You're not going to get very many points from him, and I know the analytics haven't been great, especially these last 2 years, but I really do still think there is something there with him. And yeah, I don't know. I think it's a good ad for Colorado. Looking at his contract, he will be a pending UFA at the end of the year. The New York Rangers are also going to be retaining 50% of his contract. Jimmy Vesey also along in this trade. You know, he's a bottom six forward at this point. He'll put up 20, maybe 30 points a year. I know this year hasn't been great for him, but that is kind of the player he is at this point. So sending this trade from Colorado to New York, trade rejected. It is just because of the retention of Lindgren. Interesting. So let me go force this through, and we'll take a look at the lines for both of these teams. Alright, so starting out with the Colorado Avalanche here today, only change when it comes to the forward core is just having Jimmy Vesey there on that fourth line. Another pending UFA guy could be decent for them if they want to make a run in the playoffs. Going to the defensive core, it's kind of interesting. I have Lindgren on the bottom pairing, but that doesn't mean he has to stay there. You could switch him with a Samuel Girard, a Manson, just kind of mix and match it, you know, whoever's playing well with each other. And then in the net, no change, Mackenzie Blackwood and Scott Wedgwood. Going over to the New York Rangers side of things, again, nothing super crazy here for the forwards, just having Juuso Parssinen in there on the fourth line. I'd probably slot him up with Carrick. At least there's a little bit more potential with Parssinen at this point. Defensively, Calvin DeHaan does slot in on that third pairing, which is more or less pretty expected. And in the net, no change as well, Shesterkin and Jonathan Quick. And honestly, just giving my thoughts on this trade here quickly, I really do like this trade for the Colorado Avalanche. Again, I know Lindgren hasn't been as good these past few years, but he is still that, just, you know, very solid defensive defenseman on the blue line. If he slots in as a second or maybe even third pairing defenseman for yourself, I think you're in a very good spot. And for the Rangers, I know a lot of people are saying, oh, they're going to be selling people off now. I don't know exactly if that's going to be the case. I saw a lot of speculation online. They just want to get some value for their pending UFA players. I'm guessing they had some kind of contract talks and probably at this point just thought it was better to move on and get a new opportunity for the players. But overall, I think that is going to do it for today's video, looking at the Ryan Lindgren trade to the Colorado Avalanche. It's going to be a very interesting week here coming up with the deadline coming up this next Friday on March 7th. Crazy how that is, you know, so close already. I will do my best to try and keep up to date on all the trades this week. I am going to be unfortunately working quite a bit throughout the week, but I will try and catch up with you guys and have videos covering anything that goes down. But that is going to do it for today's video. I will see you all in the next one.